Welcome to the Waldorf Astoria Wailea. Let's go check it out. Waldorf Astoria Grand Wailea might be Maui's most polarizing resort. With over 25,000 square feet of pools, it's beloved by families. At the same time, with over 800 rooms, many complain that it can feel like a theme park. In today's video, we're going to look at 2 of the rooms, some of the restaurants on property, and whether it's worth a visit. Big favor before we dive in is to hit the like button to help with the algorithm. It surprisingly helps, and if you want to upgrade your travel, consider subscribing. Rewinding a bit, this hotel opened in 1991 as the Grand Hyatt Wailea. Back then, it was considered the peak of excess, yet still irresistible. In 2006, it was reflagged as a Waldorf Astoria and one of the 4 hotels that Hilton used to launch their new ultra-luxury brand. In late 2024, it finished a $350 million renovation that included all the public spaces. Today, it's widely regarded as Hawaii's flagship mega-luxe playground, and one of Hilton's marquee mega resorts thanks to its massive room count and theme park style pool complex. Hello and welcome to the Chapel View room at the Waldorf Astoria. First off, let's check out the view. Pretty beautiful, and honestly, I was a bit concerned initially because we're like lower floor, didn't seem as nice. But compared to a lot of the other rooms and what they're facing, this is awesome. To me, this is one of the more photogenic views. Spinning around, you have some seats, not the most comfortable, but it works. Reminder that for these doors, you do want to fully close them, otherwise the air conditioner stops. The bed was super comfortable and one of the fastest times I've fallen asleep while traveling. One thing I was not a fan of though were these chairs. Main issue was that the height doesn't make sense. So like, this is the table up here. I'm not even the shortest person, but the table's too high relative to the chairs. So like, you need to be like up here because we were trying to work and it was very uncomfortable, like super non-ergonomic. This was a great spot to relax last night, so good place to hang out, super comfortable. Bathroom was pretty good, shower was awesome, no complaints. Yeah, hot water took a bit longer than I expected, but great water pressure. It would be nice if they had a super overhead one, but it worked. And yeah, I think I was tired enough that I wasn't too concerned or too miffed by it. Okay, let's check out the rest of the property. Doing a quick property tour, the main lobby area is open air and almost feels like you're entering a Hawaiian palace. There's marble floors, koi ponds, and a ton of greenery. The whole property sits on 40 oceanfront acres, and some of the views, even from public areas, are breathtaking. The hotel also does a great job incorporating tropical flowers, waterfalls, and art. There's even a wedding chapel in case you're feeling spontaneous. The fitness center's not bad, it's indoors and lacks views, but it's gigantic with walls of machines. Mostly cardio rather than weights, but not too bad. If you'd rather get your workout outside, the resort sits right on the beach and is relatively calm. The highlight of the property is the Canyon Activity Pool. This features 9 pools across 6 levels, a 2,000-foot lazy river, 7 water slides, including a 262-foot lava tube. There's also a rope swing that I struggled with more than I thought I would. If you're thirsty, there's a swim-up grotto bar. If you want food, there's Surf House right in the middle of everything. This is a pretty expensive hotel, generally floating around $1,000 per night in the peak season and $700 or $800 off-peak. Lucky for us, it's also one of the better point redemptions, with rates starting at $110K as of filming. Reminder that you need to find standard rooms, and that's not always obvious with 48 room types. Good opportunity to Command or Control F. One of the benefits of using Hilton points and certificates is that you don't have to pay the resort fees. Contrast this to paying out of pocket, where $940 becomes almost $1,200 pretty fast. 1 cent per point is great value for Hilton points and well worth considering. On that note, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, asksebi.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. Alright, so we're at Surf House for lunch, and this is going to be the restaurant by the pool area. Initially, we were going to save our stomach for dinner, but it is about 7 p.m. Pacific time now, even though it's only 4 p.m. here. Ended up getting a lobster sandwich, which was highly praised by a lot of reviews, so kind of curious how this tastes. And Mandy got the nachos. Mandy's looks pretty good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Sauce is really good and great flavors. For the price, I wish there was a bit more poke, but it works, it's fun. It's resort pricing. This is the lobster sandwich. I was hoping for a bit more lobster, but it's okay. Let's give it a taste. Actually pretty good. I've had a few lobster sandwiches in my time. This one's perfectly cooked. A lot of other ones are overcooked. So it's 32. I kind of wish it was like 28 or something, but it's fine. Taste though, I would say it's an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Man, you give this a taste.
Not bad.
Pro tip, watch your food, otherwise the birds are gonna come get it. So that's happening to the table next to us that left already and they paid. But yeah, it's just funny seeing how many birds there are. Like, it's a lot of birds. And they're going after the fries. The Waldorf Astoria is close to the shops where there's a bunch of food, drinks, and also luxury shopping options. Let's try the juice. That's really good. Dragon fruit mango, and yeah, a bunch of other things. It's about a 5-minute walk, which isn't too bad, and you can walk along the water, past a few hotels, and then turn right at the Marriott. There might also be a faster way to do it, but yeah, that's the way we took, and it's a nice walk.
In May 2025, the hotel opened its flagship dining option with Nobu. This is the first Nobu on Maui, and it's gigantic with ocean views and a dedicated sushi bar. The menu features signature items along with some local picks, but we stuck with the former.
First item is here, and it's a yellowtail with jalapeno. Definitely a bit of a kick, but really good. Also one of the signature dishes. Next is the rock shrimp tempura with creamy spicy sauce. It is a pretty sizable plate, which is good, and yeah, looks really good. What they recommend is having a piece of the lettuce along with a shrimp. Cheers. Shrimp is super flavorful, a bit of a softer crunch, and ironically the lettuce is the harder, more crispy crunch. Yeah, really good. Last up is the miso cod. It's a pretty big portion, so even if you are hungry, I think you're gonna have a pretty good time. Yeah, pretty gigantic. Let's grab a little bit and give it a taste. It's super flaky. Dip in the sauce. Perfectly cooked, super sweet, and the sauce ties it together. Let's actually try it by itself first. Still good, but something about the sauce just makes it perfect. If I could only get one of these dishes, I think it would be the miso cod. The other two are fine, but I think they're more skippable. This one's just perfection. If you're in a budget but you still want to try Nobu, then I'd probably just get a miso cod and get a side of rice. Heading to dessert, we have the cone and coffee tres leches and also some ice cream. Let's give it a taste. So looks pretty good, pretty spongy, and let's actually add a bit of the ice cream. That's really good. I like tres leches, I like coffee, this is perfect. It's also not too sweet, which is really nice. I would definitely get this. Gonna wrap it up and show you the final bill. Good morning, it's now brunch time and I got pizza. This was one of the most recommended options, so I figured I would try it. Best case, it's good. Worst case, at least you guys know. This is going to be the Hawaiian pizza. Super cheesy, takes about 10 minutes, but ended up being more like 15. Pretty good. Good flavors. There's pineapple, there's chicken on here. It's not too spicy if you're concerned with that. They said it was spicy, but it's not too bad at all. Super cheesy, and they also have an oven in there. So yeah, really good. No complaints. Have I had better pizza? Definitely, but this scratches the itch. I would say it's a solid 7.5, maybe 8 if you're hungry. I generally prefer thinner crust, but it works. In case you're curious, this is what the pizza looks like, and you do have a bit of coloring from the pizza oven. Not too bad at all. A little bit thicker than I like. Hello and welcome to the Lagoon room. The most impressive part of this room is the view. So we do have the lagoon view of the main internal water park section, and it's pretty nice looking. Yeah, it's kind of magical. The blue and the green and the plants all work together really well. It is a bit noisy on the side though, so if you are someone looking for more peace and calm, then it might not be the vibe. Yeah, benefit of this room is that you do have a bit of an ocean view compared to the last room. Let's head back inside. If you are concerned about the noise, the pool section does close. The slides at least close at 5 p.m. So there should be less water movement noise. But it's not too bad. It's kind of what I expected. Starting off over here, we have exactly the same chairs that are very non-ergonomic. Over here, we have a couch. It's a very hard couch. I feel like I'm in like the principal's office or something. It's a very stiff couch. It is a pull-out couch. So if you have a player 3 or if you are in trouble with player 1, then that's an option. This is the bed, exact same bed. TV is gigantic. Down here we have a bunch of storage options, so tons of drawers if you are staying here for a bit longer and you want to unpack. Over here we have the fan as well as the AC unit, so exactly the same as the other room, and also the art decoration on the wall. So I'm not sure exactly what this is supposed to represent, but it looks really cool to me and I dig it. There's this whole wavy motif and reflection. Also, I think they are pretty good to the lights. I don't know why, but the mood works out really well. It just ties the room together. Over here, we have the coffee station. Let's do a demo because we need to make sure it works.
I think he has a coffee problem.
It's a problem. I can stop whenever I want. I just choose not to. It is the fancy machine, so the big pods. Yum, 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 yum. While we wait for that, let's check out what's underneath here. We have a fridge from Magic Chef, and there's going to be 2 path waters. So this is part of a resort fee. No one saw that. Cut that out, cut that out. So you do get 2 path waters per stay, and these are refillable bottles of water, and they have stations throughout. Nice bottles otherwise. I'm not sure if this is just a cover over it. Probably is, but it feels nice. Path water always feels nice. But let's see what Mandy thinks.
Oh, it's nice and cool.
Mr. Coffee, how are you doing? The coffee cups also have a nice motif.
This one doesn't overflow. The other one was like overflowing. Like this one actually seems like it's programmed correctly.
Good coffee. Over here is the bathroom. It's more of a square design rather than a rectangle. You have shower, so pretty much exactly the same as the last one. I don't think I went through the last one in the last room, but these are going to be white labeled for the hotel. So this is body wash and it's honey mango. Shampoo is also honey mango, and same thing for the conditioner. If you're concerned about height, I think that might be valid. Yeah, I think if you're like 6'6", you're gonna be pushing up towards the ceiling a little bit. Most people are probably fine though, but yeah, just shorter than I would expect. Over here is the tub, and it's perfect for relaxing.
So that's kind of creepy. No one wants that.
Yeah, perfect to relax by yourself or with player 2. They do provide some bath salts as well, and I believe you can order more. So it's balancing, meditation, and harmony. Vanity's pretty normal, nice big mirror. Not really much else to say here. I do like the lighting behind it. I think it adds a lot to it. More honey mango scented moisturizer and cooling gel. So if you do burn like I do, then this is perfect. I use sunscreen still, but my shoulders and neck get wrecked. Not yet this trip though, luckily. There is a hair dryer. I don't really dry my hair, so I can't speak to it. How was the hair dryer, Mandy?
Normal.
And toilet seat over here worked as expected. Not as advanced as some other hotels, so there's no bidet system, just normal toilet. Closets over here, and it is a bit bigger than the last room, or maybe it's the way it's positioned. I think the last room was a bit more of a square and just like hard to navigate in. This one feels a lot easier. You have a safe, hangers, and yeah, pretty normal closet. If you are trying to have a fancy dinner and you want to iron your shirt, then that's also an option. In case you're wondering, this is where our room is. So 1065, and compared to other rooms, pretty much exactly the same. This is, I guess, the view. This is the back area. And then yeah, there are a few rooms that are a bit bigger, mainly the corner ones. So this one, is that, I hope that's not a room. I think that's a storage room. So standard room, but not really too bad at all. Like, it's pretty nice for what it is. Maybe it's being in Hawaii, maybe it's the view and the ambiance, but it works to me. I think this is one of the more beautiful hotels out there. The greenery and the blue and everything just works really well. I like it. Alrighty, we're at dinner, we're at Hamu. It's actually a longer name, but I can't fully pronounce it, or I'm worried I'm gonna butcher it, but let's give it a try. Don't get mad at me. Humuhumunukunukuāpuaʻa. Well, that's where we are. Ended up getting the pork chop because it sounded really good, and waiter also said it was a good choice, and Mandy got the sea bass. Let's actually try Mandy's first. Pretty good. There's a nice crust to it too, and it has that crispiness. Flavor-wise, it's delicious. Wish it was a little bit bigger, especially for the price. And the main issue is if you compare to Nobu, that's where it doesn't really compare well. So theirs is a bit better. It's also a lot bigger. I feel like it's about twice the size, and it's cheaper. So technically different fish, but very similar flavor profile. And given that, I think Nobu's is a bit better. But this isn't bad though. Like the crisp on it, the skin is really good. Let's try the pork chop. Pretty good flavors, a lot of different spices going on. Not too dry, wish it was a bit more moist, but not bad at all. This is the chop. Good flavors. It does really benefit from the sauce and it works well together. Now pour it on. Gonna enjoy this and see you in a bit. Also want to add that if you are a bigger eater or you have higher protein goals, I think the pork chop is one of the best bets for the price. So I feel like it's twice the size of Mandy's and it's 2 pretty big chops. So like this is one of them, pretty thick, about an inch thick, and you get 2. The potatoes are also pretty good. So it's a coconut and purple potato puree. A little sweet, super unique. I don't think I've had that before. Solid 8 out of 10. For dessert, we got the Humuhumunukunukuāpuaʻa mud pie. This is their signature dessert. And it's delicious. It's pretty much an ice cream cake with chocolate, a bunch of other things, nuts, cream, ice cream, fudge. Works out really well. One thing I like is that it's not too sweet compared to some other mud pies I've had. 2 thumbs up and perfect for sharing. Alright, so it's almost bedtime. We're refilling the waters before bed. That way we have nice cold water and clean water. Main issue though is that there's not that many water stations. So they do provide these bottles and they're meant to be refilled and reused. The water droplet represents the stations. So that one right there. And there's nothing at our wing. That's kind of crazy. It looks like there's like less than like 10 in the whole building. Most of them are going to be in the main lobby. But yeah, B6 has nothing. Any of the side wings don't have any. The like closest one we have is B5, which would still be going outside, going across like the river and bridges, and then up. Interesting. Yeah, so it's mostly the main lobby that has them. And then I think the park has 2 or 3. Yeah, definitely feel like there should be a lot more water stations if that's the goal. Probably 1 per floor by the elevators makes sense to me. Okay, so this is the last lunch and we're at Olivine. This is the Italian restaurant on property and everything looks pretty good. One surprising note is that the pizza here is cheaper than at the convenience store one, and it looks a bit better. So that one was about 34 for the vegetarian ones. Here it's like 28. We did end up getting the squash one, which I was a bit on the fence with, but it was on a lot of menus and I figured I'd try it, and a lot of rave reviews online. Interesting. It definitely is unique, so it has spiciness, kind of an umami to it, cheesiness, a bit of everything. I don't think it'd be my first pick if I were to come back, but worth trying. Next up is the pasta. That's really good. Garlicky light and just delicious. Also definitely handmade fresh pasta, given the look of it and the taste. You don't get that many shrimp, so only 3, but let's give it a taste. Super thick cut and perfectly prepared. I definitely recommend it. Just wish there was more protein. Main takeaway though is that if you want pizza, I think this is well worth a stop. For the final meal before leaving, Mandy really wanted a sundae.
This is you. I didn't even notice this on the menu.
Okay, so I really wanted a sundae. I also didn't realize it was $20. But this is their famous soft serve, and it's pretty gigantic. It doesn't look as big on camera, but it's pretty sizable. This is the Cosmic Bliss soft serve with banana jam, candied macadamia nuts, dragon fruit, and Kahlua strawberry compote. Also sea moss gel, blue magic, spirulina powder, and looks magical. It also is a collaboration one and only available here. Cheers. Pretty good. Not $20 good, probably maybe $12 or $15. It's tasty. Probably fine to check off a list, but I would not get this every day of the trip. There are a ton of shops here and you can build to your room, so if you do have Hilton resort credits or gift cards, charge it to the room and on checkout, it's gonna work.
What'd you pick up, Seb?
Ended up picking up some Bari stuff in just a different colorway and stuff I have at home anyways, so it made sense. Also, the price is exactly the same. There's no markup. It's exactly the same as what you'd normally pay the non-sale MSRP rate. There's a bunch of shops in there, including Alo, Vari, as well as Lululemon. Also, if you do want more beachy stuff, there is a Tommy Bahamas and other like art stores as well.
Overall, the hotel is a mixed bag. Despite the property being beautiful, there are a lot of common complaints. The check-in experience is surprisingly weak. Expect long lines of 20 minutes and up, and also no welcome drinks or lays. This is in stark contrast to both the Hyatt and Marriott alternatives next door. Another issue is the pool chair Thunderdome. We're not really lounged by the pool people, so less of a factor for us, but there's almost an arms race every morning. Sometimes it escalates into people's stuff getting thrown on the floor or almost getting pushed into the pool. Ironically, we're usually up by sunrise to enjoy the view, so could technically hog chairs, but I don't really mind walking over and leaving my stuff in a corner, since we're usually only in there for like an hour. One of the big reasons for this is due to the nickel and diming with standard cabanas starting at $1,300 per day. Mid-level ones, the ones that often get sold out, start at almost $1,800. With premium ones pushing past $3,500, and yes, this is per day. The resort fee is another area where it's a bit annoying. A lot of the perks are actually sneaky upsells. For example, a 45-minute photography session is free, but the pictures themselves are not free. You're paying $79 per image and $600 for a bundle. All of this isn't even obvious unless you read the fine print. There's also a lack of water refill stations, especially for the size of the property. Grand Wailea only has 12 stations for its 844 rooms and 40 acres, compared to Andaz, which has 10 but only 320 rooms across 15 acres. Despite all of this, I actually still liked the hotel and had a great time. Part of it is that I didn't vacation much growing up, so something about this just hits that joy receptor. This is the kind of vacation you dream about as a kid, the classic American getaway. As someone that never went on these, it's nice to experience it even as an adult. Once you look past the pool madness, the rest of the property is surprisingly peaceful. There's moments, especially at sunrise and sunset, that make all the stress and worries of everyday life fade away. Again, if you want to learn about cards to get points to book this, and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website asksebi.com and down below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a sunrise emoji in the comments down below and I'll try to heart it and respond. 3 questions for you. What are your thoughts on the Waldorf Astoria Grand Wailea? How do you think about booking on points versus cash? Lastly, if you've been to nearby properties, how do you feel that those compare? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor thumbs up, consider subscribing, but otherwise, hope you liked it, and see you on the road.